This is the story from the year 1812. An adventurer was crossing the desert of Wadi Rum. This adventurer, named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, lost his way. He arrived at a narrow path between the rocks. He walked about 1.5 kilometers between the two cliffs. Eventually, the path widened. In front of him, he saw a grand structure carved into the mountain. This ancient structure was located in Jordan. It was built in these desert valleys by an unknown people. At a height of 127 feet, this structure was not built, but carved into the mountain. Today, it is called Al-Khazna in Arabic. The name Al-Khazna means the treasury. Magnificent pillars rise from the bottom of the mountain. On their tops, exquisitely detailed and beautiful carvings appear. A very large entrance leads to a room. Inside this room, there is no design. Only the natural beauty of the stone can be seen. The adventurer found this scene astonishing. He decided to continue deeper into the cliffs. Perhaps he was close to discovering a lost city of history. Further on, he saw a theater carved into the stone. This theater could seat around 6,000 people. A pathway led to a very large temple-like structure. Some ruins indicated that a city once lived here. On the heights of the mountains, many monuments were also visible. Burckhardt had discovered the ruins of a historically significant city. This 2,000-year-old city is now known as Petra. But how did the people who lived here survive in this desert without water? Why did they carve these structures into the cliffs? What was the name of this monument in the desert? And most importantly, why were they eventually forced to leave everything behind? The Swiss adventurer remembered a story of a desert tribe. He had heard about a tribe that traded silk and spices. They traded between China, India, Egypt, and Rome. They used to hide their treasure by carving it into high cliffs. In Greek and Roman sources, these people were called the Nabateans. About 2,000 years ago, they were famous as a nomadic tribe. They lived in tents in the desert. Yet how did people living in tents build such a magnificent city like Petra? After Burckhardt's discovery, Petra gained international attention. Archaeologists and historians from all over the world began visiting the site. They wanted to unravel this ancient mystery. Carving a 127-foot-high structure from stone was no ordinary feat. It was not a common practice in the ancient world. Researchers believed the workers must have constructed temporary structures. They likely used wooden frameworks to stand on while carving. After much research, an incomplete structure was discovered in Petra. It seemed to hold the secret of construction. This structure appeared to have only its top portion carved. The rest of the limestone was left untouched. This showed that the Nabateans began carving from the top. In constructing the treasury, they climbed the adjacent cliff. They dug a horizontal shaft into the limestone mountain. Standing inside this shaft, they carved pillars and designs. Gradually, they worked their way downward. When the upper half was complete, stone rubble accumulated below. This rubble created a slope. They used this slope to finish carving the lower portion. This construction method has never been seen anywhere else in the world. Researchers found a clue when they discovered a similar structure in America. The Nabateans left very little writing in Petra. Only a few texts in Aramaic script were found. Aramaic was used in the Middle East during the time of Jesus. The script declared the place sacred. It warned that nothing inside should be changed or removed. However, inscriptions outside suggested there was nothing inside except shelves. These shelves were likely used to hold dead bodies. This place was actually a burial chamber. More than 800 chambers have been discovered in Petra's cliffs. At first, it was believed the city was only a cemetery. Later, evidence showed people also lived there. During its golden period, around 20,000 to 30,000 people lived in Petra. But how did 30,000 people survive in such a barren desert? The answer lies in Petra's water system. A structure called the Great Temple provided clues. Holes were found in its floor. It appeared water once flowed beneath it. Ground-penetrating radar was used to scan the area. The results revealed an underground network of channels. This proved Petra had a sophisticated water system. Water also came from a natural spring called Ain Mousa. This spring is located about 8 kilometers away. The Nabateans built pipelines between the cliffs. These pipelines were joined in small sections. Hydrologists later discovered the pipes were angled at 4 degrees. At this angle, no air pockets formed. Water flowed smoothly without leakage. The Nabateans understood hydraulic engineering 2,000 years ago. They also built dams to control flash floods. About 5 ancient dams have been discovered. Some have survived for 2,000 years. These dams stored water and protected the city. In the year 363, a massive earthquake struck Petra. Many structures collapsed. Flash floods later destroyed much of the remaining city. Water systems were damaged. Trade routes shifted. The people gradually abandoned Petra. In 1985, Petra was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. If you have seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the Temple of the Holy Grail shown in the movie is actually Al-Khazna in Petra. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.